How to refine gold from e-waste. You're going to need two hazardous acids. First one is hydrochloric acid, also known as muriatic acid. Now, this acid is cheap and easy to find. You can get it at Home Depot. So that's pretty easy. The second one is nitric acid. That one you can't get. You need a specialized store for that one, or you can just buy it online. Now, both of these chemicals are hazardous. Nitric, I think, is a little bit more, a lot more, I should say. So let me just say this. This is a warning. Don't try this at home. This is just for educational purposes only. With these two acids, you can refine the gold. So refining is different than extracting. So extracting, in my last two videos, I showed you how to find gold from e-waste from chips on the motherboard, and also from gold-plated RAM sticks and video cards. So if you need some gold, you can check out those videos. It shows you where. Okay, in order to do this process, you need specialized equipment. So you want safety glasses, apron, gloves, and a fume hood for all the gases and all that. In order to refine the gold, you're going to have to actually dissolve the gold. So let's say you already have the gold and you have it in a beaker. What you want to do is you want to put some hydrochloric acid in there. Use typically on a hot plate. You warm it up. You can see the bubbles fizzing and doing its thing. And then you have to measure how much hydrochloric acid is going in there, because you're going to need to. That's going to tell you how much nitric to use. Now, forget what the proportions are, but let's say it's like 3 to 1 or 4 to 1. For every 4 units of hydrochloric, you might need 1 unit of nitric. And the standard practice is to only add enough nitric for it to dissolve the gold. So you put in a little pipette as the hydrochloric acid is warming up. You put a little bit of pipette of, let's say, milliliter or so of the nitric, and if that's not doing anything, you add a little more and a little more until you eventually get to a point where it's bubbling and it's fizzing and it's doing its thing. What that's going to do, it'll dissolve all the gold that you have in there. It'll turn the liquid, the hydrochloric acid, maybe you might have some not diluted, you might have some distilled water in there. It'll then change the color to something that might resemble gold, either a yellow or like a brown or an orange. Once the nitric acid has done its thing, and you know it's done its thing because when you add more and it doesn't bubble, that'll tell you that it's dissolved all the gold that's in there. You might need to denox it, meaning turn the nitric off, essentially, and with some powder. Well, we don't have to go over that right now. This is just a basic video. Anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves. So once the nitric stops bubbling, that means that all the gold has been dissolved. What you want to do is you want to take that glass beaker or whatever container you're using, and you want to filter it. What you want to, in order to filter, it's simple. You take a funnel, put that in a container, and then you put, let's say, a coffee filter, maybe 2, onto the funnel. You pour that liquid in. Whatever is caught by the filter is stuff that we don't need. It's not going to be gold because all the gold is in liquid form. You want whatever that container. You want that container, basically. You're going to take that container. It doesn't need to be warm. It can be whatever temperature. I think typically it should be a little colder. I've seen some people actually put ice in there. But let's say you have the container and it's in that nice color. You put some SMB, sodium metabisulfite, which is a common thing that you can get that's non-toxic as far as I know. Again, don't take my word for it. Look it up. You can actually get that at Home Depot too. I think the brand name is like Bonnie or Boney. And it's a stump remover. So maybe it is caustic, I don't know. You take some portion of that, you put that into the container of it's called pregnant solution. And what that will do is that powder will be absorbed and it'll precipitate the gold. So the gold will come out of the liquid and be in a metal form, and it'll form at the bottom of the beaker. So what you do, you put some SMB, sodium metabisulfite, wait a day, you come back, you see at the bottom of your container that there's gold. there's physical metal gold in there. You do another filter, but this time you keep what's in the filter because that's the gold. You dry that up, and then that's your gold. Now, here's the issue. Depending on how much other stuff was in your original solution, as like if you got it from gold pins or if you got it from gold fingers or whatever it is, sometimes some copper or tin or whatever will transfer over, and it'll even stick after you precipitate it. So your whatever you come out with at the end of this may actually not be 24 karat gold. Okay, so if you don't think it's 24 karat gold, you can do another round. Do it again. Do the hydrochloric acid and the nitric, and then do another boil. Anyway, the more you do that, the more it gets refined. But let's say you just do it once and you think it's fine. Then what you want to do is you want to put that in a crucible, just a cup, ceramic cup, put some borax in it, use a blowtorch, heat it up, and then it'll turn into a little ball, maybe a little BB, and it'll be as close to 24 karat gold as well. You can get it to however close to 24 karat as you want, right? It might be I don't know, almost 100%, 0.9999, whatever it is. And you can do whatever you want with it. You can keep it, you can go to a refiner and they can look at it, they can assay it, or they can do some sort of spectrometer thing, and it'll tell you how pure it is. And the more pure, the more money you get for it. And that's it. If you're interested, make sure you look at the other two videos I got explaining how to extract the gold from e-waste.